Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you guys about one of my very favorite handguns. This is a Beretta 92G Elite by Langdon Tactical. The very first handgun I ever shot was my dad's Beretta 92 FS, and ever since then I have really liked the platform. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I have had in the past a Taurus PT99AF. That's the gun that I first got set up to reload for when I started reloading, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Unfortunately, about a year and a half ago, my truck was broken into and that handgun was stolen. I shot that gun very, very well. So as soon as that one was stolen, I knew that eventually I wanted to replace it with a Beretta 92 or a Beretta 92 clone. The majority of the handguns that I shoot are of the striker-fired polymer frame type. That's what I carry, that's what I compete with. So though I will very much enjoy having and shooting this Beretta, I'm probably not going to have a bunch of them. So I figured I might as well have the best Beretta 92 ever made. Those of you who have seen Langdon Tactical Beretta 92s know that these are not the grips that originally comes on them. They come with an ultra thin set of VZ grips, and those are just a little bit too thin for my liking. The grips that I have on here now are a set of palm soil grips from Lock Grips, LOK grips, and I like these a lot. I might talk about these later once we get into the shooting a little bit. Aside from that, as I said, this is a Beretta 92G Elite LTT. The G part means that we have a decocker only, so I'll decock the gun, and when I release it, it comes back onto the fire position, so now we are ready to go in double action mode. This is not one of the guns that came straight from Beretta. This actually did come from Langdon Tactical's facilities. It has the NP3 coated components, which makes things just super, super slick. And it came with 3 18-round magazines that are NP3 coated as well. And these things, they can be almost a little bit hard to load by hand without something supporting the base plate, just because they are so slick and you've got to really grab onto them to get a good grip, but it makes them go in and out of the gun super, super smoothly, and I like these a lot. Before we jump into the shooting, I'll show you guys the trigger here. We'll get everything about the gun out of the way right away. One of the main things that Langdon Tactical works on the Beretta 92 is the trigger. So this gun has a super, super light and smooth double action trigger. Also, the single action, let me zoom in so you can get a close look here. The single action has, of course, the standard Beretta take-up, and that defeats the trigger safety. You can actually see that pop up right there. That defeats the trigger safety, and then you're at a wall. Super light and smooth. The reset also, look at that. This is definitely the best Beretta 92 trigger I've ever felt, though my Taurus was really well worn in and super nice. But this is definitely the best Beretta 92 trigger I've ever felt, and one of the best triggers on a handgun I've ever felt. Now, I haven't gotten into high-end 1911s, so I'm sure those would surpass even this, but really great trigger on this gun. I purchased this Langdon Beretta through Gunbroker. I was pricing one out on Langdon's website to order directly through them, and just happened to check Gunbroker. This one was listed at a gun shop in Missouri. It had been purchased. Guy put a couple hundred rounds through it, cleaned it, turned around, and sold it. Don't know why. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I got it for a couple $100 less than you can get it directly from Langdon, so that was nice. You guys remember seeing the Canik SFX Rival video? I sold that handgun and a 9mm Strybog to pay for this one. I think I ended up somewhere around $1,200 after taxes for this Langdon Beretta. So not a cheap gun, but a very, very nice one. I did mention that it is one of my favorite handguns. However, I do not shoot this handgun quite as well as I do my CZP-10C. Now, again, you guys have seen me shoot that gun in the past. It is one of my very favorite handguns and my wintertime carry gun. Like it a lot. And I shoot it a little bit better than I do the Beretta. Why that is, I don't know. When I first got this Beretta, I put it on paper at 10 yards and I had a nice little group, about 4 inches low and left of my aim point. The sights are fixed, they're non-adjustable, so I went and shot this off of a bag and it put them all dead center. So it is 100% my trigger control. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get it in line shooting this Beretta. I have put a little over 1,000 rounds through this since I got it, just to try to get familiar with it, and I have improved quite a bit, especially on the up-close stuff, but you guys are about to see that I don't shoot it near as well as I shoot some other handguns. So I'm gonna grab a 15 round magazine. This is a GI M9 magazine, and I've got a bunch of these, which is one of the reasons that I definitely wanted to get another Beretta. I've got a bunch of these M9 magazines. I'm gonna put one in here. We're gonna go over to 50 yards and see how I can do on a 12-inch round plate. All right, we are at 50 yards here, and those of you who have seen other reviews on the Langdon Beretta or any Beretta 92 will know that it is an extremely accurate handgun. I'm not going to be able to show that here for you today. I'm not going to be able to shoot it near as good as Honest Outlaw, anybody like that, but we're going to give it a go. Oh, one thing I'll notice, because of the non-frame mounted safety decocker, it's not really super comfortable to grab it back here and to rack the slide. Even like this, especially the ambidextrous decocker on the right side of the firearm, really kind of bites into your hand, the front of it there. So I like to either pinch the front or grab the indentations up here and run the slide that way. Tell you what, I'll decock it and we'll shoot it in double action for this first shot. See if I can get a hit here. All right, so one thing you'll notice, my fingers, even with these big palm swell grips, come so far around. Even on this gun, I barely have enough room for my support hand. So I try to kind of choke up like this and leave a little more room for my support hand. Still, with how the Beretta operates and the little bit higher bore axis than, say, my CZ, it tends to rock and my hand slips, even with these super aggressive grips. Now, that's mostly on my technique, but that is just one thing I notice. And that's with the Beretta platform in general. All right, I'm shooting just low, which means it's my trigger control. There we go. Bottom half of the target. I'm certainly not going to shoot more than one magazine back here at 50 yards. I'd just be embarrassing myself. Let me try another double action shot here. Oh, I flinched on that one big time. This is S&B 124 grain ammo that I'm shooting. There we go. Just got to really focus here. Shanked that one bad. Find weirdly that it seems to be super hold sensitive. Whether I put more pressure here or here with my firing hand seems to make a big difference, and I gotta really pay attention on putting even support across the whole grip. The shots that are hitting are in a nice little circle. I'm just missing all the rest. All right, well, that's a 15 round magazine. We're gonna quit with that. We're gonna move up to 20 or 25 yards and we'll do a little more shooting. All right, we are at 25 yards. I've got one more GI mag here and then we'll switch to the Langdon mags. One thing you might notice when I reload, because of the NP3 coating, that slide release is super smooth and easy to hit. It barely takes any pressure to drop the slide. Okay. My front fiber optic came out. Okay. I noticed it was a little bit harder to see that front sight. My fiber optic came out. The one that was in there before, as I understand it, Langdon ships these with a red fiber optic, and this one had a green one put in there that was very poorly put in. So I'm guessing the guy that had this before me put it in, I'm going to have to replace that, but no biggie. All right, we're back in double action here. Once I get my trigger finger under control, it shoots real nice. And that trigger is just butter smooth. All right, I'm gonna slow things down here. We'll put one mag through. That's, I think, the first time I've had it auto forward. It is loaded. All right, we're gonna slow down, get all of our hits, then I'll move up a little bit closer and maybe go a little faster. I'm shooting at that 12-inch round, but I'm also shooting at some 6 or 8-inch wide mini IPSC targets. Okay, I'm starting to warm up and do a little bit better. Let's go up here to maybe 10 or 15 yards and I'll speed things up a little bit. There's my plate rack down there. Let's see if it forwards again. I'll just slam it in and see. No, it did not. It must have just been right on the edge. All right, I'm gonna speed things up a little bit. I'm about 15 yards away. I don't really like to shoot steel any closer than this. All right, I had my thumb a little bit too high and I easily ride this gun too high and this decocker catches my thumb. The slide is rounded off in the back here so it doesn't bite as bad, but that decocker still catches my thumb if I ride too high. So I gotta be careful about that. All right, that's going a whole lot better. One more magazine here. Let's back up a little bit further because that's not near as fun. We'll go back to 25 yards-ish here. Tell you what, I'll take that first shot. Double action. I'll try that again. I shanked it low. I'm gonna shoot double action until I get it here. There we go. All right, I've got my grip dialed in now. It is a pretty fast gun to shoot once I get my grip dialed in, but like I say, until that grip is perfectly dialed in with this gun, I have a really hard time hitting. That slide is hot. Oh yeah, barrel is very, very hot. That was 80 rounds through in very quick succession, so it is going to be hot just about no matter what it is. But anyway, that is the LTT Elite. I like it a lot. This is probably the Beretta that I'm going to hang on to for a long time. I don't know that I'll necessarily collect Berettas, though I would like to find another Taurus PT99 in the future with that awesome frame-mounted decocker. Beretta keeps coming out with models with the frame-mounted decocker safety on them, but they're single action only, and I don't quite understand that. I do really like having that double action capability, and you lose that, of course, if you go to something that is single action only. All right, I can't leave it alone. Now that I got my grip dialed, I want to try again at 50 yards here. got 10 shots in the mag. Gosh, missed that last one. That's much better. Anyway, I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Go check us out over on Patreon, Instagram, all that good stuff. Y'all have a good one.